Coaching and mentoring principles. Mentoring. Despite its origins in Greek culture some 3,000 years ago, mentoring is now a buzzword in a world where life and work are high-tech but low-touch. When you hear the word mentoring, a dozen or more images flash through your mind. It appears that you are not all on the same page. It will then be beneficial to provide a working definition that brings us all together in our understanding. Mentoring is a collaborative relationship in which one person empowers and enables another by sharing their knowledge and resources. Mentoring is an ongoing, relationship-based activity with a number of focused yet all-encompassing objectives. It is not required to follow a formal procedure. The mentor is a facilitator who works closely over an extended period of time with either a person or a group of people. The schedule is flexible and will likely keep changing in the long run. The goal of mentoring is to develop wisdom or the capacity to apply information, skills, and experience to novel circumstances and procedures. Coaching. In the 16th century, the term coach referred to a horse-drawn vehicle that transported people from one location to another. Big buses with rows of seats were also known as coaches in the 20th century, and their purpose was the same: to get people where they needed to go. Around 1880, the term coach was given athletic meaning when used to describe the person who coached university students rowing on the Cam River in Cambridge. Later, the term "Enroll" came to be associated with musicians, public speakers, and actors who relied on coaches to improve their abilities. Former Miami Dolphins coach Don Shula wrote about athletes who would come to his team with their skills and talents, ready to submit to the coach whose job was to instruct, discipline, and inspire them to do things better than they thought they could do on their own. The concept of a coach has remained largely unchanged over time. A coach is a vehicle that transports people from where they are to where they want to go. A process that allows for learning and development and, as a result, improved performance. The emphasis is on achieving extremely specific goals within a predetermined time frame. Performance and the growth of specific abilities are at the heart of coaching. There is usually a planned program with a much shorter time frame than in mentoring, so the learning goals are usually determined in advance. The differences between coaching and mentoring. Coaching is task-oriented. The emphasis is on practical concerns like improving management, speaking clearly, and developing strategic thinking. This calls for a subject matter expert, coach, who can instruct the coachee on how to acquire these abilities. Mentoring relationship-oriented. It aims to create a secure setting where the mentee can discuss any problems affecting his or her professional and personal success. The relationship may be built on a foundation of particular learning objectives or competencies, but its focus extends beyond these areas to cover issues like work-life balance, self-assurance, self-perception, and how the personal affects the professional. Coaching is short-term. It is possible for a coach to work with a coachee for a brief time, perhaps just a few sessions. Depending on the goals of the coaching partnership, the coaching goes as long as is necessary. Mentoring is always long-term. For mentoring to be effective, both mentor and mentee must take the time to get to know one another and develop a relationship based on trust. Only then can the mentee feel comfortable discussing the true problems that are affecting his or her success. Coaching is performance-driven. Coaching aims to increase a person's productivity at work. This entails either developing existing talents or learning new ones. The coach is no longer required if the coachee has properly acquired the abilities. Mentoring is development-driven. Its goal is to prepare the person for their current employment as well as their future careers. This differentiation establishes a clear line between the mentor's and the immediate manager's roles. It also reduces the chance of conflict between the mentor and the employee's manager. Coaching does not require design. On any subject, coaching can begin very immediately. In order to choose the competency area, required knowledge, and evaluation methods when a corporation wants to offer coaching to a broad group of people, there is undoubtedly some design work involved. However, this does not necessarily require a long lead time to actually implement the coaching program. Mentoring requires a design phase. To decide on the partnership's key areas, the precise mentoring models, and the elements that will specifically lead the relationship, notably the matching process. The coachee's immediate manager is a critical partner in coaching. She or he frequently gives feedback to the coach on the areas in which his or her employee needs coaching. The coach uses this information to direct the coaching process. In mentoring, the immediate manager is indirectly involved. The manager has no connection to the mentor and they do not communicate at all throughout the mentoring relationship, despite the fact that she or he may give advice to the employee on how to make the most of the mentoring experience or make recommendations to the matching committee on what would constitute a good match. This preserves the integrity of the mentoring relationship. When to consider coaching. When an organization uses performance management tools and involves the direct manager to train its staff in particular capabilities. When an organization has several talented employees who aren't living up to the standards. When an organization debuts a fresh system or software. When an organization has a small group of people, 5 to 8, that need to become more proficient in certain areas. When a manager or executive requires help learning a new ability to take on a new role. When to consider mentoring. When an organization wants to grow its talent pool or executives as part of succession planning. When an organization aims to enhance its diverse workforce to get rid of obstacles to their achievement. When an organization aims to more fully develop its personnel through methods other than the acquisition of particular skills or competencies. When an organization wants to preserve the knowledge and experience that its baby boomer employees have for future generations. When an organization seeks to build a workforce that strikes a balance between professionalism and personal. Principles of coaching and mentoring. 1. A professional dialogue, that is professionally structured, grounded in the professional learner's practice, and articulates pre-existing attitudes and practices to encourage reflection. 2. A partnership, built on consideration, respect, and sensitivity to the strong emotions inherent in in-depth professional learning. 3. A learning agreement, that establishes trust in the relationship's boundaries by deciding on and upholding ground rules that resolve power and responsibility mismatches. 4. Combining the assistance of experts and professional colleagues with support from peers to maintain a commitment to acquire information and apply expert contributions to daily practice, seeking out expert advice to advance knowledge and practice. 5. Increasing self-control, a dynamic process where the learner gradually gains more influence over their professional development as their knowledge, abilities, and self-awareness grow. 6. Creating hard and individual objectives, establishing objectives for students based on their aspirations and building on what they already know and are capable of doing while in school as well as their personal priorities. 7. Knowing the reasons that various methods work, gaining knowledge of new approach justifications to enable parallel theory and practice development and context-specific adaptation. 8. Recognizing the advantages for mentors and coaches, recognizing the professional development that mentors and coaches receive from having these opportunities and presenting them as examples of professional development. 9. Providing a learning environment that encourages innovation and risk-taking, as well as encouraging professional learners to look for and analyze direct evidence from practice through experimentation and observation. 10. Utilizing time and other resources wisely, making good use of them and protecting and sustaining daily learning, activity, and contemplation. Benefits of coaching. Coaching has several benefits for all parties concerned. Learner. The line manager's acknowledgement of their significance. The improvement of their abilities. Higher job satisfaction as they perform better. A deeper sense of commitment to and interest in their work. A developing the capacity to handle a wider range of tasks. Coach. A team or department that is more effective and productive. More self-assurance when assigning work to a team. Improvement of personal managerial abilities. An improved standing as a generator of people. Exposure to fresh viewpoints and ideas from the staff. Limitations of coaching. While efficient coaching has a place in organizations, there are obstacles that prevent it from being recognized and put to practical use. Understanding and, more significantly, removing these perceived or real organizational hurdles will boost the likelihood that any coaching technique or localized implementation will be successful. There are some examples of these limitations below, although this is not a complete list. The organizational culture. Lack of appreciation for coaching's value. Not considered a top priority for the organization. The opposition of upper management. Low levels of expertise and training within the organization. Time and resources are limited. The inappropriate pairing of coaches and learners. Insufficient top-down support. Creation of unrealistic expectations for promotions. Excessive reliance on a coach. Issues of gender. The blurring of role distinctions, etc. Organizational leadership and management styles. Internal coaches' reliability. Demand for coaching versus available capacity. The price of outside coaches. The failure to involve stakeholders before introducing coaching. Little is known about the effects and advantages of coaching. Bad communication abilities. Relationships that conflict. Learners' lack of commitment. Poor management support for those conducting coaching. Benefits of mentoring. Mentoring potentially has numerous benefits for all concerned. Mentee. Easier transition into a new position or role. Facilitate the rapid and thorough acquisition of the necessary knowledge and abilities. Support with the decisions they must make in order to further their careers. Access to someone more senior than themselves, other than their line manager. Better awareness of the organization's official and informal workings. Mentor. A rise in self-worth and motivation as a result of the mentoring position. More appreciation and respect from the organization's employees. A chance to practice and enhance their own managerial abilities, especially advising and supportive abilities, in a secure setting. A chance to learn about the viewpoints and ideas of people who are younger and in other parts of the organization. A chance to influence and improve communications with others in the organization. Limitations of mentoring. Building and maintaining a fruitful mentoring relationship is a difficult task. As a result, not every mentoring relationship endures or attains the same level of excellence. Below are some of the reasons why mentor-mentee relationships don't work out and some recommendations for how to overcome them. 1. One or both members in the partnership finds it difficult to get along with the other. They might not get along because of their radically different worldviews or just because of personality conflicts. If this happens, it should be dealt with as soon as possible. Both parties should evaluate their relationship to date and decide whether it is worthwhile to try to work things out and start over, or even whether to invoke the opt-out option and agree to split ways. It could be beneficial to include another individual in these talks and decision-making processes, like a member of the personnel department. 2. Someone breaches a confidence. Due to a lack of trust on both sides, this can result in a mentoring relationship that is ineffective. The extent and scope of confidentiality should be discussed right away if they haven't already been agreed upon. Both the mentor and the mentee must meet to address the reasons for the breach of confidence and how to make sure it doesn't happen again if a confidentiality clause already exists. It may be necessary to revise the mentoring contract. 3. Mentoring requires more time and effort than initially thought. Frustration is likely to arise if the mentor or mentee is unable to devote the necessary time and attention or frequently postpones and cancels sessions, especially when there is little warning. Additionally, this behavior will convey a bad message about the value of the connection. If this is merely a result of bad time and calendar management, then reconsidering the timed part of the mentoring contract and deciding in advance on a schedule of meeting dates over a lengthy period of time, such as 6 months, may work. Both sides must decide whether it is worthwhile to find another mentor or mentee if the real cause is a lack of time. 4. Neither party is actually motivated to keep the connection going. This happens when both the mentor and the mentee lose interest in the collaboration and grow complacent. This can happen if the mentoring has reached its logical conclusion and the relationship has run its course. To retain a sense of overall purpose in the relationship, however, both parties must put up more effort in terms of general input, creating targets and goals, agreeing on action plans, scheduling meetings, etc. 5. The mentee has unrealistic expectations about what the mentor can offer. The mentee sees the mentor as someone with significant influence within the organization who, as such, should be able to pull strings and significantly advance their career. When this doesn't happen, the mentee could feel frustrated and disappointed. Therefore, mentors should make sure the mentee has a realistic understanding of the mentor's job from the start, as well as what they can and cannot do for them. Never should they engage in promising or committing to something to the mentee that they can never keep. Thank you. See you in the next